Hey, comic fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and you're with me, your host, Mike Spider Slayer. That's right, guys. Got a lot of time to do some individual reviews this week, so I'm going to squeeze them in here, do as many as I can. I probably have one more after this one before my time is up, and then next week we'll do a countdown video. But this particular issue, we're going to be talking about Aquaman, issue 23.1. Also known as Black Manta #1. Now, I wasn't also going to get this book this week, reason being that I don't really read Aquaman, but I do find the Black Manta character intriguing, and based off of what you read in Forever Evil, it felt like that this could have kind of been a tie-in to this series more than the other villains' books. So I decided to pick it up, and then I also thought, well, Geoff Johns writes, Aquaman also, so this might actually go well, again, with Forever Evil. And let's just say, in my opinion, I think it was done well here, and this was one of the better villain books of the week. So, cover, first off, it's 3D cover. This is a pretty badass cover here. We have the Manta on there. You can see his knife is out in 3D, his arms in 3D, Aquaman's in the background. The blood going around the Black Manta is in 3D as well. Manta's a cool looking character anyway, so any cover you see with him on there, it's pretty badass. So our story here is written by Geoff Johns and Tony Bedard, and the pencils here are Claude St. Aubin, which is interesting. I have seen better artwork in this particular, in particular comics, but the comic here is not bad art at all. I've just seen it a little bit more detailed. I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to detailed art. I think when you see clothes and they don't have wrinkles or expressions on faces at times, I think it's a little bit weak. But when you see the characters drawn the way they're drawn, I think it's well done here. Here's another example here of our crime syndicate drawn. They're not exactly as fearsome looking as, say, David Finch's art, or as dark looking as the David Finch's art in the actual miniseries. So what did I think of this actual story? Again, I thought it was a pretty good tie-in actually to this book, to the Forever Evil series. It opens up in the Belle Reve penitentiary. That's how it all starts off, with the inmates in there. Amanda Waller's talking with Black Manta, saying, and you read this in Forever Evil, saying, you're a killing machine. You can join the Suicide Squad, and, what's an offer that I can do to persuade you? And, Black Manta's just like, dude, I just want the death of Aquaman. That's all I want. And Amanda Waller makes it a thing, saying, you go into the backstory of how Aquaman killed Manta's father, and Amanda Waller says, well, what happens when Aquaman's dead? What's going to fuel that rage? What are you going to do with all that rage? And the next thing you see is the Belle Reve prison get destroyed. I mean, it's just getting destroyed, and you can see that it's the crime syndicate releasing all the villains, because they're releasing all the villains so they can make their speech and do their whole little spiel. So we get up to that time frame. And then the next thing you see is all the villains are escaping. King Shark comes out. He frees Manta as well. They get the coin. And he's sitting there, walking to the place where he has to go, where everyone is, where everyone's gathering to, see the crime syndicate talk. And we see that the Justice League is truly dead, because that's what the crime syndicate sees. And we can see Black Manta here, who sees Aquaman's trident, and he's like, oh, the trident. And he's like, what the hell? And he's like, it's mine. And they're making their speech, and crime syndicate's like, join us, and blah blah blah, just like we saw in Forever Evil. And it's so funny how they focus on the actual part where the guy says, oh, that's Superman with the U, and you see him being fried again, which I thought was hysterical. But Black Manta takes a walk away. He kind of wants nothing to do with anything in the issue. And you see him visit his father here. And he talks to his father, and he sits there and goes, Father, it's over. It's done. Aquaman is dead. And it looks like you think that Black Manta in the issue is that he's done being Black Manta because his death has been avenged. Um, Superman moves the moon over the sun because obviously, Ultraman moves the moon into the sun, creates that solar eclipse, messes up the tide in the actual in the Earth because you screwed up the moon. And the next thing you see is you find Black Manta trying to survive, and the next thing you see is that the coffin opens up and he sees his father because he's visiting his father's grave. And that coffin's opening, and the tide is just blowing everything away, and his father gets washed away in the tide. And so it like resurges that revenge that he had. Just as he got closure that his father's death has been avenged, his bones get washed away, his gravesite is dead. And at the end you just sit there and he puts on the mask and he goes, once Aquaman is dead, where did you direct that hate to? And he goes, to the crime syndicate, and this actually continues in Forever Evil. So it says Black Manta's war against the crime syndicate unfolds in Forever Evil. So this is a great one to actually read. I know I gave a lot away here, but read the story to get the full appreciation of the issue. It's a fun issue to read. It ties in a lot to what has to do with going on in Forever Evil. I've loved seeing the character, stripped down. He finally gets closure after all these years, just in the same instance for it to reappear again. So it looks like Black Manta is going to be going against our crime syndicate, which is at least one villain going against them. So maybe joining Lex Luthor into going against the crime syndicate as well. So this is awesome here. It looks like maybe the Legion of Doom is going to be formed to stop the crime syndicate. So I'm truly interested to see what's going to happen. I really like this one. So I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So guys, give me your thoughts on what you thought of this issue in the comments below. And do you think they're going to do a Legion of Doom here to go against the crime syndicate? I think so. I think it's going to happen. So guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And I'll see you on the next comic book review. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.